Way up north to Alaska. Way up north to Alaska. North to Alaska. Go north for Russia's home. North to Alaska. Go north for Russia's home.
Hi, and welcome to the 6th episode of North Cabin Fiber Crafts. Don't mind me today. I'm going to be referring to my show notes here on my laptop in front of me. I have a lot of things to cover today. Welcome to everyone that's new, and welcome back to those of you returning. I'm your host, Lori. I can be found on Ravelry, Plurk, and Twitter as Lori U. There's a Ravelry group for North Cabin Fiber Crafts, and there's also a Facebook page. On Facebook, I can be found as Lori Green. Now, I haven't done this yet. The spelling of my first name is L-O-R-R-I-E. So if you're just looking up Lori, you may not find me under L-O-R-I or L-A-U-R-I-E. My name is spelled L-O-R-R-I-E. I have a correction, big fat correction note to make. Kagi pointed out to me that I incorrectly named the fiber and the cone of yarn that I'm using to knit my Harvest Moon sweater. Right here, I haven't done any knitting on it, but this is the cone of yarn. You can see it here. And I really haven't done much on it. A couple years ago, Kagi and the High Fiber Diet we went over and did an interview, and it's called Marhaven. And the fiber content is Rambouillet. So I'm really sorry that I got that incorrect the first time, so I'm making up for that now. Let me see if I can find Marhaven is a merino Rambouillet wool farm, and it's organic wool yarn, and they are located in Allegan, Michigan. So you can go ahead and look that up, M-A-R-R Haven, H-A-V-E-N. You can just Google it and it pops right up. You'll find all the information there. It's really a great yarn to work with. I'm enjoying it immensely. I just haven't had time this last week or so to actually work on my knitting. So that's my correction. We're good and done with that. I was going to record on Sunday and even yesterday, only the weather was just too nice. There was just too much work to be done, and I never really got to it. The weather today is, let's see, we will look it up quickly. The weather today in Fairbanks, Alaska, Tuesday, May 7th, is the high is going to be 43 degrees and partly sunny. Excuse me, it's currently 32. In Anchorage, the high is going to be 48. It's very cloudy and currently 39. Here in Michigan, in my part of town, it is 73 degrees and looks like it's going to be a high of 75, and it is mostly sunny, not mostly cloudy. So there's our Alaska weather update. This is what we have to look forward to. On the other Alaskan note, I wanted to point out that there is actually see if I can find it. I might have lost it. Darn. I believe I lost the site. Anyways, in Nenana, the Nenana River, they have a annual, what do you call it, a jackpot drawing. They put a tripod up out in the river and tie a cord or something, rope with flags on it to land, and there's a jackpot. You buy a lottery ticket. You have to guess the day, the month, and the hour and the minute that the ice will break. Last year's jackpot was $350,000. That's a lot. I did have it on my iPad. Unfortunately, I lost that link already, but you can look it up. Just look up the Nenana ice break, and you'll find the information there. Maybe next week, if the ice hasn't already broken up, I'll make sure and point it out to you. But a couple days ago, they do a running tally of how thick the ice is on the river. And a couple of days ago, it's like 36.7. Today I checked it, 40 inches. 40 inches of ice. It's not going down and getting thinner. It seems to be getting thicker. It must be still cold in Alaska. Oh well. Okay, so moving on. We got through the weather, and the dandelions are popping up like crazy out in my yard right now. We're in the middle of building a shed. We already have a shed, and it's full. And we just crammed stuff in it. So we're building another shed. And as it happens, this shed's roof is like my height. So I can walk in and out of that shed without bumping my head at all. Guess who gets that shed? It's a 10 by 12, I think, just aluminum or metal shed. And we're almost done with it. We have the doors to do tonight. And then it'll be done. We'll just...
Want to get started on a great weekend?
Excuse
Start
me.
at Enterprise with great weekend rates starting at just $9.99 a day. Weekends at Enterprise are special. Let us...
Okay, that was that. Anyways, sorry for that interruption. Computer just decided to play some odd commercial video all by itself. Anyways, back to the shed. I can't find the lawnmower because it's buried in the old shed. So we have to finish the new shed, move as much stuff out as we can, kind of reorganize, get down to the lawn equipment, because it's going to take me forever to get this lawn mowed once we get it up. Once we find the lawnmower, that will be my project probably for this later this week and the weekend, is just to get that done. That's a big job. Let's see what else is going on. Okay, the RAV group camp food section has a few new ideas up. Patty Sand, who actually lives in Fairbanks, said her hubby takes freeze-dried foods camping. Just add water. So there's an option. Another one that I got idea was, let me pull it back up again. Was from Angel Mom 3, and her name is Sandy. She suggests to definitely get a cast iron skillet and Dutch oven. She's done a lot of camping, and her husband has done even more. They've made cheesecakes and pizza in the Dutch oven. To make it easier cleanup, you just need a few pie tins. Then you make your cakes or biscuits, place them on the pie tins, put them in the Dutch oven, put coals under the cast iron and on top. It does take a little learning curve to not burn it, but it's well worth learning. She's also made a camping cookbook for scouts, and their favorite is the walking taco thing, where you take your Doritos or Frito sandwich sized bags, crunch them up, and then just add ground beef and whatever other taco seasonings that you like. That's an awesome option. I know John really likes tacos, so I can definitely do that on the go. That's a great one. She also has a recipe in here it's a Dutch oven recipe for peach French toast, and she won an award with it. The recipe and directions are in the RAV group, North Cabin Fiber Crafts, under camping food menu ideas. And again, please run over to the RAV group, submit your ideas. The more we have, the merrier. And I'm looking now at the end of May, I will do a random number generated drawing and pick someone to win a nice gift, either something from my shop or a couple of donated items that I have here. All are great prizes, and you could be the lucky winner. So let's see, what else do we have going on? We are currently at, how many members? Members, go there. Doesn't seem to want to go. Members. We are currently at 78 members. That's great. I'm also in the process of a 100-member drawing. So please join the North Cabin Fibercrafts Ravelry group. In the group you will find podcast updates, blog updates, just new chitter chatter about whatever it is I'm up to. I apologize, I haven't done that much in it this last week. Learning a whole new schedule to get by every day takes a lot of work too. So it's managing my time, and I'm learning how to manage my time. Seems like when you stay at home, all you see is the dirty dishes, or laundry needs folding or putting away, a bed needs to be made, so on and so forth, and the next thing you know, a couple hours have gone by. So I'm trying really hard to manage that better. I want to also welcome the two newest members, which is Karski55, Karen, and again, Angel Mom, Sandy. Thank you for joining the group. It's great to have you. That was the whole, pretty much the wild, which is just, you name it, stuff that has to do with Alaska or anything that's going on. The next section is the wacky, and it's pretty much just about my life. Our lives. What's going on? What's new? What's happening? So let's see, what have I been up to all week? Last week, mostly just cleaning the house. It was so nice to be able to get everything in order and organized and work hard to be able to look around the house and just breathe a sigh of cleanliness, if you will. As I said before, we are building the shed. That's an ongoing project. Hopefully it's done tonight, or so close to being done tonight I can actually work a little bit tomorrow and throughout the weekend to organize one shed versus the other. One will be the John shed, one will be the Lori shed, possibly. The old shed actually has a really tall ceiling in it, and John doesn't bang his head on it, so I've conceded to give him that shed only because just building the little shed or the shorter shed or the newer shed, however you want to call it, he smacked his forehead at least 2 times on the beam that goes across the doorway, going in and out as we're trying to put the pieces on for the roof. He just, bam, smacked his head. I'm like, oh, I feel really bad for him, as I'm laughing. There are some advantages to being vertically challenged, as I am. I can literally stand right there, even where the peak comes down like this in the lower area. It barely skims the top of my hair. So I'm not going to have to worry about smacking my head on anything when I'm organizing bins or going to find something out in the shed like the bead box or anything like that. So I'm okay with it. Now we're going to get into the work portion. What's new here? Well, I've got a few new colors to show you. They don't have names yet. Well, one of them does. It's my favorite one so far, but they don't really have names, and forgive me for not having everything just like perfectly in order. I would have so liked to have been a bit more organized. Just when you think you're totally organized, you have all your show notes down, then you realize when you get to this one portion that whoa, I bombed. I just want to look for one thing, which is, can't find it. Of course I can't find it. Okay, well, moving on. What I have to show you. I have, this is in the Iditarod base, 450 yards. There's a nice, what would you call that? Is it a teal blue here? Nice caramely toffee color, a little bit of white, and a really deep maroon. And I'm not sure that the camera's going to show you this well, but this is just a really cute, neat colorway with big blocks and chunks of the three colors, leaving some white in between. This is the one that I don't have all my notes for. It's DK. I believe it's 250-ish yards of the dongle tweed. I believe it's 100% superwash merino with the dongles in it. I apologize for that, but you know, when you go to look on the Etsy site or when you see it in person, you'll know what I'm talking about. But it's just a nice kind of sage-ish glass green, I don't know. And this would be, I was going for more of a burnt orange. It's a tad bit light, but they seem to work really well together with the plain base of the yarn and the two colors here. I also did a complementary to go along with it. So I have 3 skeins of this, and 3 skeins of this would make a great baby sweater. I like that idea. Another thing that I have is a Norwegian top. I have 2 of these, 4 ounces each. And again, it's kind of a teal color, some of the natural color showing through, a really deep dark chocolate brown, and that same or similar mahogany color that totally came out different in the fiber than it did in the yarn. But there's 2 of those, 4 ounces each. This Norwegian top is really, it's a little hairy maybe. Maybe not around your neck comfortable. It'd probably make a great hat, gloves, mittens. I don't know. I just really liked it. Wanted to try something new. So we have that. I also have my favorite. This was dyed on a charcoal color, kind of just a kind of tonal charcoal color. I just let it be. And it had some areas of white or base showing through, so I went back and dyed those in a bright green. Didn't think that that was enough punch for me, so I went and took an end and put it in black, and then that gave me an idea. Kind of going back to my 12-year-old elementary days, riding on the bus. And then you have a frog in the blender. So that's the name of this one. This one does have a name, Frog in the Blender. It is on the Iditarod base, 450 yards of 75-25 superwash merino, 25% nylon. It's really cool. It's really cool. That's that. I also have this here, and it's just kind of a tonal, what color is this? It's not very purple. It's more of a magenta, but just a light faded kind of magenta color. And I only have 1 of those skeins. That's pretty much it for now. I have a few more things that are drying out on the line. I got John to put a clothesline out for me, and I'm so happy. I can hang stuff outside and it dries so much faster. Moving on to what's next. let's see, the next retreat is coming up soon. I'm going to leave on the 15th, so the Etsy shop will be on vacation while I'm gone. The 15th. Probably I'll put it on vacation on the 14th. I'm going to go visit Kagi and spend the night with her. We're going to make one quick stop at a local fiber farm where I'm going to pick up some homegrown Michigan yarns, and I'll tell you all more about that later. But I'm really excited to be able to carry 100% homegrown, organic Michigan yarns in my shop. I'm going to have a DK and a heavy fingering. See if I know more information about it. Not quite yet. We're getting there. We're going to go pick them up to save on postage shipping, since I'll be over that way anyways. So that's something new. So the next retreat is Guts, Grit, and Pink Lipstick, which is, it runs the 16th through the 19th, I think. And I can't wait to go. This is going to be so much fun to get together with more girls again and hang out. And I'm actually one of 10 vendors, I believe, at that show. So I'm looking forward to that event and getting together with everyone, sitting around knitting, like-minded people, doing our thing. What can be better? Let's see, at this point, what else do we have? Oh yeah, new. I recently met with my local yarn shop owner, and she is going to carry some of my labeled yarns. They don't do any spinning or fibery stuff there, so it'll just be mostly yarns in her shop. I sold a couple, and before I even left that day, she'd already had them sold. And the name of that shop here in Michigan, it's actually in my own hometown, which is Whitmore Lake. It's called the Whitmore Lake Yarn Company, and Maureen is the owner, and she contacted me a while back, and we've just been kind of trying to get our schedules together. She wanted to carry some of my yarns in her shop and in support of me and my business, and in return we're going to do kind of a private label thing. She has some USA blends of yarns that are completely made here in the US that she has contracted me to dye for her in her shop. So that is the next project underway. I believe I showed in another, in one of the other episodes, the exclusive Whitmore Lake colorway, and this is it right here. She described to me what she would like to have as an exclusive for her shop. Since the shop pretty much looks out over the lake, I decided that there would be plenty of sun, a few clouds, some blue sky, bright blue sky, a little bit of lake, and some green for the trees or grass. And this is what we have. She was thrilled and elated with it. Can't wait for me to dye this up for her to carry in the shop. One of the ladies, as I'm showing the sample that I did, tried to buy it right out. We're like, no, you can't buy it yet. You have to wait. So she was a little bit disappointed, but she'll be back. She's one of the regulars. She'll be back. She is referred to as the sock queen, so she'll be more than happy to have sock yarn that is exclusive to Whitmore Lake Yarn Company. So yay for me. I got a job. So that's all over. So I'll be working on that probably after I get back from the retreat. Right now I'm concentrating on getting as much as possible up in the shop to take with me to the retreat. And I'm not yet the huge super dyer. I'm working on it, and as I said before, just trying to schedule time, to blocks of time for everything thing that needs to be done. I'm still working on that, but it's moving along really well, and I'm so excited to be able to do this. It totally makes my day every morning to get up and pretty much know exactly what I'm going to do, and I get to do it myself, for myself, and for all of you to enjoy too. As for the woolly stuff that I'm working on, as I said, the Marhaven yarn here, I have not done anything with my sweater. I actually think that this is kind of the neck area that goes here on this cardigan. I think I'm going to pull it back to that and start over. The way they have you do the button band, I really don't want buttons. I'm going to put a zipper in. So I think I'm going to pull that back and just do an I-cord edge on it so that I can tuck my zipper under there easily and it'll be hidden, and I don't have to go back and pick up the stitches and do an I-cord edging. I'm just going to do the whole thing all at once. So I think I'm going to pull that back. There's probably 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, maybe 30 rows that I've done, so it's not the end of the world. I'll get through it. The only knitting that I really have been doing is a little bit on the sock blankie, or sock scarf, or sock shawl, or however. I believe when I first started I showed you all this part. I've added some more, and woohoo, there's a little bit more up there too. So this is such nice mindless knitting, and you actually accomplish a square every so many, few minutes or what have you, and then I'm going to start out with a scarf. It may expand into a shawl, and if I keep going on it and don't get bored and burnt out with it, it may end up even being a baby blanket or a throw for the couch. For me, not for John. He's too tall. It would just take forever and days and days and days to make it his size. So, might be just for me. That's all the knitting I've been doing. I have not spun a thing. The last retreat, which was Knitopia, I took my e-spinner, Hanson's e-spinner with me and didn't even get it out of the bag. I was just so busy visiting and knitting and hanging out and laughing that I didn't have time to spin. I'll take it again with me to this retreat, with the hopes of being able to spin something, because I really love my spinning, but we'll see how that goes. That's about it. For the Knitopia retreat, I guess the knit along was the Knit Swirl sweater. Some of the girls there had finished theirs, and I fell in love. I want to make one. Well, while I was at the local yarn shop, I guess on Thursday nights, some girls want to get together and do a knit along on that same sweater. So I think that I will jump in and do it. I have a couple of cones here of Michigan yarn, and I think that I will skein it off, dye it up, and make my own sweater out of my own hand-dyed, wonderful, lovely yarn. I've had these cones in my stash for a while and never got around to doing anything with it, so I'm really excited to be able to have a project that I just really think it's a really cool sweater. So I'm excited for that also. The woods, yeah, we're going to leave this section to John and any building progress and what have you. The only thing we've been working on is the shed. I've been trying to contact the DMV in Alaska, which is a pain in the arse. They're like 4 hours behind, so I can't start calling until like 1 my time. Yesterday I did it a little bit more towards the afternoon and spent 2 blocks of 15 minutes on hold. Gave up. Today I got all ready, waited till promptly 2 o'clock my time, and then proceeded to wait on hold for another 30 minutes. I hung up. The only thing I need to know is one quick question. We need to title the trailer. Sorry about that. Camera paused out on its own. Back to the DMV. It asks you in one of the blanks your mailing address. Well, my mailing address and everything matches with my driver's license, and it is here in Michigan. The next question is physical location of the owner. It doesn't say physical location of the boat or trailer. So I need to know, because we've registered the boat in Alaska, because it's staying in Alaska, how do I title it? It's a simple question. That's all I need so I can send my paperwork in. 2 days. 2 days now I've been trying. As soon as I'm done recording, I will try again. That's that. The wish list. Oh, I want a Crazy Monkey electric skein winder. I do. John and I had discussion, and he was going to build me one. Don't make it, or don't buy it. I'll build it. I'll bake it. I'll make it. I'm like, John, when do you think I can have it? He was like, maybe you should buy it. I think that is a first that he's ever said, maybe you should buy it. So it's on my wish list. That is what is on my wish list. I am working towards the goal of getting the electronic skein winder that does at least 2 skeins, has a counter, and is electric. And I'm going to go for the 2-yard one versus the 1.5 yard, because I usually skein all of mine at 2 yards, and then I'll end up re-skeening at like 1.5 if I choose to re-skein. Some yarns I don't always re-skein them because they look so darn pretty just the way they are. But that one is that's on my wish list. That is like the big numero uno one that I want. I wonder how we're ever going to be ready to get to Alaska. It's getting close. It's getting so close every single day, and every single day I'm still wondering how we're going to, we're just going to do it, that's all. Just going to have our clothes packed and pre-ship some stuff and run and jump and get to Alaska, and don't tell John. Figure the rest out. Okay. The only other thing I want to share with you all is I am starting a thread in the Ravelry group, Mats for the Homeless. The reason is my stepmom, she came over the other day to visit and was telling me that she and a group of ladies meet on Wednesdays, and they crochet sleeping mats for the homeless. Now, they use the big giant crochet hook that's, you know, the size of your thumb, big, hooked over, big. And what they're doing it with is your grocery sacks. Now, I have some here. I have one here. Actually, I have more than one, but okay, you have your, you know, your plain old grocery sack. Everyone has 27 million of these things. We always forget to take them back to the store. We hardly ever recycle or use them for anything. So this is a perfect idea. And this is my challenge to you all. Like I said, the topic or the thread is Mats for the Homeless. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you all to make donations. What I would like is for you to send as many as you can fit in a legal size envelope. Now, I stuffed 10 in here and then realized that we can probably fit them in better if we do the following. Take your bag. I'll show you the mat in a minute. It's kind of almost finished. Take your bag like this. Fold it in half. Fold it in half again, so that's quarters. Kind of flatten it out nice, and you can feel here where the seam is on the bottom. cut that seam off. You're going to turn it around, and on the other end you see where the handles are, but also where the edge stops. We're just going to cut that off too. Pretty much right at that edge. Okay, now we have a much smaller bag, right? We're going to fold this into thirds, like so, into thirds. Fit 1, 2, 3, just like that, and cut 1. They don't have to be exact, super exact. Okay, so now you have this loop. You'll have 3 of these loops per bag. 3 of these loops per bag is like 3 stitches on the mat. It takes 600 bags to make this mat for the homeless to sleep on. So basically, it's my understanding, they just take them and loop them together to make plarn. So, what I would like you to do is to take your bags, cut the ends off, and just have your loops. They don't take up very much space. I'm pretty sure we can get more than 10 bags in a legal sized envelope. Get as many as you can in there. And if you include a self-addressed stamped envelope as a prize for you and a thank you for your donation, I will send you the North Cabin Fiber Crafts button for your participation. Okay, the ladies are knitting or crocheting these for local areas here in Michigan for the homeless shelters. The mats are really thick. They are mildew and mold resistant. They're very squishy soft, and actually John and I were looking at them thinking, hey, too bad they are a little heavy. Too bad they're so heavy, because we could actually use those to like sleep on camping and whatnot. But let me show you one, and I'm not going to be able to show you the whole thing. It's not quite finished. There's a little bit left to go on it. These things are huge. Look at how wide this is. Okay, and currently, yeah, it's taller than me. I guess there's a few more rows to go. They're using Kohl's bags, garbage bags, you know, any good bags. Now, it's really big, but I'm going to bring it up to the camera to show you. Look at how just squishy soft it is. Look at how thick it is. It is as thick as your foam camping mats. It's awesome. So, again, I would like everyone to participate, and thanks for your participation, you will get a North Cabin Fiber Crafts button. So make sure to include your self-addressed stamped envelope inside the envelope with your rings, your loops that are cut. You don't have to chain them together. They'll probably fit in much better if they're not chained together. So get as many as you can into your envelope. Close the envelope up with your self-addressed stamped envelope on the inside, and I will be sure to send you a button and thank you. The ladies will thank you too. They're just working feverishly on these and having a great time doing it. So again, you can find that in the North Cabin Fiber Crafts and podcast group on Ravelry. I will also put the information up on northcabinfibercrafts.blogspot.com in the blog, so that you can get the information either place. I will put my address to send them to also in those notes. So at this time, I think I'm all set. Have a great week. I hope to record again next week, probably Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. But in the meantime, have a great week. Enjoy yourself. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Way up north, to Alaska, way up north.